I think I have this. It's so nice to be at yet another opening of another new business in Jamaica. It is so wonderful to be here. Yeah, you know, when I was in business, I wouldn't even talk about the protocol. I'd just come up and give the speech. I wouldn't even say good evening. I just get to the point. But since I've been in government, they have been training me. Not always easy, but I have to start somewhere, and it's Mrs. Paula Ann Porter Jones with whom I start, our Master of Ceremony. She's always so excellent. Very, very good to have her here with us. We have Pastor Michael Mirage, who gave a copy of the word to these young men. And as we're looking to build a country of strength and growth into a very strong and long, sustainable future, making sure that Dane and Marlon understand, and all of us come to understand, that there has to be a moral compass on which you run your life. Otherwise, you run it into a wreck. I don't care who you are. Pastor, thank you for that. Honorable Xavier Main, my colleague, Minister in Finance, Honorable Marsha Smith, in Education and Youth. Of course, Mr. Dane Spence, the co-founder, and Mr. Marlon Hudson. We have members of Parliament, Julian Robinson, Member of Parliament, Michael Phillips, and my colleague and friend across the aisle, Mr. Damian Crawford. And I've always commented to him something that clearly Julian has never heard, that it's so good for him to stay on that side for a very long time. and we both enjoy laughing at among ourselves because we realize that not even Julian can make the call. Talk to Pastor. We know who makes that call. Right, Pastor? So, Miss Clara Francisco, Mobile Head of Division at Samsung Electronics. Good to see you here, Clara. SMS executives and team, media practitioners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. You know, as I sit there and I look at how this company has come about, I was so impressed with the two young men and their team that have put this together. The use of smart technology is necessary for increasing our productivity. You're going to hear me. When I started at the ministry, I was on export. I'm never going to stop talking about how much we have to export to become rich and a wealthy country. I talk about per capita GDP all the time. You're going to hear me talk about productivity all the time. Where's my phone? I need it there because I took a picture from which I'm going to make my speech. I really thank you guys for making this, but I saw one picture that made sure I could make the whole speech from it. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Yep. Interesting, I thought. So we're going to make sure that we understand that technology will help us to meet international demand and driving Jamaica's global competitiveness. So you're going to hear about productivity and competitiveness till you're tired, because until we get those right, we're not going to be the kind of rich country we must be. Use of smart technology helps to streamline processes, automate tasks, and optimize resource allocation across industries such as manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, and logistics. The Andrew Holness administration, I said, Julian run gone, him no said coming up. The man give me the job. I have to say something about him. The Andrew Holness administration recognizes the vital role of technology and is committed to Jamaica's digital transformation. In fact, very recently, Prime Minister Holness appointed Dr. Dana Morris Dixon as the head minister in charge of digital transformation and upskilling of the nation. The European Union and the government of Jamaica have launched a 9.5 million euro digital transformation program for Jamaica. It's called Digital Jamaica. This is the first grant-funded multi-sector initiative to support Jamaica's digital transformation agenda. I love to talk about grant funding because it means taxpayers in another country or group of countries see Jamaica as being worthwhile to spend their money to help us to build what we have to build. Digital empowerment is necessary. As the Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Jamaica's business ministry, I am in agreement with and I'm committed to working with our agencies, and in our ministry we have 20 of those agencies and collaborating with other ministries and the private sector in driving our nation's digital agenda. It is indeed my pleasure to join you today for the launch of Smart Mobile Solutions, SMS, and the group's SmartTech360. That includes coding and the creation of software and technology. You know, Marlon and Dane started this company in 2008. That was a bad year in the world economy. That was when the housing market went sideways. Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, and they were brave enough to start. But we're Jamaicans, so that's not unusual. We take on what has to be taken on. That year, I was in fact on the board of Advantage General Insurance. When Advantage got in touch with you, I was before that running NCB. I want to stop there because there's something that is vital in developing this country. We have to see big companies working with smaller ones to make them stronger. These guys start off their company with a knapsack and a car trunk. It first starts with a knapsack, then they have to go into the car trunk, and then them get 70 square feet of space to start a company. Advantage General needed the service, and I remember very well, Mark Thompson is still there. He was head of the company then and still is now. And they got these two young guys and maybe two or three other people to say, come, work with us. Them never go to another big company overseas and say, we only have to have the best and Jamaicans can't do it. I want big companies in Jamaica to recognize that we have excellent ICT companies here and other companies that can provide services for them. I have taken, 7, 8 trade missions around the Caribbean, United States, Canada, and Britain, and France. And when I started in Guyana in October 2022, there were 6 ICT companies with us. We had 35 people, 35 business people who paid their fares. 6 of those companies were ICT companies. The truth is, Mikhail, I didn't even know we had as many of 6 at a time. So me kind of get a surprise on the upside. Well, that was nothing. That summer in 2022, we went to Canada for another business mission. I don't take trade missions, I take business missions. I take business people to do business. 16 ICT companies paid their own way, paid their hotel, paid their food, and were with us. We didn't know, and you probably didn't know, we have 16 separate individual companies that are ICT companies. We have more than that. Dane has been with us most recently. We took 61 people to Guyana, back again. Guyana 3 times. Listen to me now. If you don't, I spent 21 years in the Arab Gulf, where oil is. I've seen what happens to countries when they become an oil economy. Listen to me carefully. Continue to invest in Jamaica. Build your company in Jamaica. But we have such a fantastic relationship with Guyana. We have paid them respect over the years. They have respected us. We have 3 million people. They have 780,000 people. Jamaica has a stock market that works. We have government systems that work, whether you believe they're the top or not, but they work very well in many cases. And so Jamaicans must form a consistent and symbiotic relationship with Guyana to make sure as their economy grow on the back of 11 billion barrels of oil declared, and I'm sure there are probably more. As Suriname grows its economy with 1 billion barrels of oil declared, Jamaica works with these companies. They have a port. They have ports, Georgetown, Berbice, and Paramaribo in Suriname. But they have a draft of 4 to 6 meters. Because the Essequibo River, the Demerara River, all of the big rivers silt up the port. Now, I know that with 11 billion barrels of oil, in 5 to 7 years, Guyana is going to have a port like Singapore, Antwerp, or Dubai. But between now, 4 and 7 years, there's a lot of business to be done. The Cayman Special Economic Zone must be developed. Go and find partners. We have hope of money in this country. Julian gone, but I can tell you, say, for 7, 8 years, we stayed out of the capital markets as a government, making sure there's money in there for the private sector to have. Get the private sector, come together in a group. Yet, clap, man. It's a good thing. Yes. Them just sit down here, all them one over there. So sit down and won't say clap. But really and truly, there is money, and come together and form consortium. I make the case, Mikhail, that one of the best inventions of Western capitalism is something called the limited liability company. When him join and make a limited liability company, you can't go take with them house unless them sign, here the lawyer, back it up, unless them sign a personal guarantee. It is limited, the limited liability company allows you to get Damien's shell down and brain and money, the pastor's prayers, Dane and Marlon's money and inventiveness, put a company together, and out of that combination comes something that is stronger than if you do it alone. The limited liability company. So this government allows the money to stay in the private sector and go build Cayman a special economic zone. Look at Kingston Port. It is ideally suited right by Panama, and Panama, we hear, is having a little water problem. But we are suited to go to Europe, the biggest market in the world, the United States, and all of the Caribbean. It's here it must be. So please focus on making sure we build great business relationships with Guyana. But you know, as we talk about big companies helping another one, I'm going to tell you something else that really happened to me when I came back to Jamaica. Soon after I came back, they brought me the uniform order to be signed at NCB. NCB had, I don't know, 1,800, 2,000, 2,200 people at a time. Big contract. So I said, where are we signing this to? We're signing it to a company in the land of our biggest trading partner. I said, excuse me. When I was going to Monroe, that fine institution, Damien, city up on a hill that cannot be hidden. When I was going, when I was going to Monroe College, a seamstress made my shirt. A tailor made my pants. The seamstress, I imagine, made the dresses for the Hampton girls. How you mean we can't make uniforms? Oh, but sir, when we get the uniforms made in Jamaica, they don't fit and we can't get the material we want. I said, all right, fine. I said, when they come, all of them fit? Sheepishly. Under them breath. No, sir. I say, all right, if them can fit them, then can make them. So I pick up the phone. Found out who it was. At the time, it was Doreen Frankson running Jamaica Exporters Association, it was called then. I said, Doreen, send me the 3 best people that make uniforms in Jamaica. Them send me, I said to the people here, you choose one of them. They choose one called Mark Designs. It was run by a lady called Miss Marcia Nicely. She still runs it. She and her 2 sons are in there. So I said, bring her in here. I said, how come you're doing the uniform for NCB? Well, so she kind of don't want to say anything because it's risky. I said, I don't know anybody here, me just come. So tell me. She said, them sort of block me out. Them like to go overseas. And then, of course, me hear the sus, but me disregard the sus because me know what I'm going to do. So I said to my people at NCB, we choose one. It was Miss Nicely. I did what she could never expect. Because what they do is, if they would give this local people they give her a 1-year contract. You can't do nothing with a 1-year contract. You can't buy no machine. You can't hire the right people. She was operating out of her house with 5 or 6 people. Them could have locked her down any day and she couldn't get the money to send her kids to school. So I said, all right, we're a bank. I know I did huge contracts in Saudi Arabia. Hundreds of millions of US dollars. We know how to do contracts. I said, give her a 5-year contract. Why? That allows her to buy machinery. That allows her to get material. That allows her to hire people who can work on the stuff for a while. That allows her to rent a place till she can buy it. And I gave her a 5-year contract worth $80 million. She must have almost collapsed. Couldn't believe it. That's what big companies can do for small companies. And you know why? We paid ourselves. As she made the uniforms, we take pay and give her the rest of the money. She got grow. She now owns a 24 Mark Designs operator, whatever, 24,000 square foot factory that them own. They have 140 people working for them, and they export to 13 countries across the Caribbean. That's what big companies must do with small companies. SMS is working for now NCB and AJI, and I think I heard Grace. But we must make sure that happens. And we must make sure that the government plays a role. Make the playing field easy. Make sure, and everywhere I go, I ask, business people love to complain and you don't love to write. You have a minister who will be your advocate. Don't just complain. When you see a law that is outdated and archaic, write me a note and say, this no make sense and you don't have money. Get a lawyer to tell me how it should be done better. Yeah, you have money too. So, I'm saying to you, the government and this ministry is there to help you. But I'm so pleased to see what SMS has done. They have had 40 government contracts. Now, if you know Manager Clark and you know say him handle procurement, nobody thinks say you're going to run away with anything easily. You have to do it the right way. And for SMS to get 40 different government contracts is something you should applaud them for because it's not easy to get it done. But after you get the first 3, it's easier because you know the rules now, you follow the rules. And we have a better country because of it. So I'm happy to see you guys doing all that. And then we help you with productive relief. If you want to manufacture something, we give them productive relief for the machinery. About 3 weeks ago, yes, and that's for big and small companies. If you want to make pepper sauce, or you want to make mango juice, or 2 weeks ago, I went to Lidford. Lidford bought a piece of machine, Lidford Mining, for 2.4 million US dollars. This is climate friendly. It no give out no dust. Michael was there with me. It no make no whole pan noise. Them use let's say them use 1 liter of oil in the old way to use 3 machines to make 1 ton of limestone grilling. Them now use that same 1 liter of oil to get 5 tons of limestone. So productivity goes up. Productivity is what SMS is about. And what we have to do in Jamaica, we're low on the scale of productivity. We have to raise that. But we took our debt from 147 to 72. We can do it. We have 61 years of negative trade balance. The only year we had a positive trade balance was 1966. The same year before 2023, under the Honest administration, that we had a positive balance of trade. Last year we had what? Balance of payment. The last positive balance of payment was 1966. Well, that negative trade balance has to be changed for us to be rich. SMS is doing it. They're exporting and doing well at it. So, as we congratulate these young men, and as I look for them to go to Africa with me later this year, possibly even to Latin America as we go in the middle of July, I want to say to them that we really admire what you're doing. We really think that's outstanding that you'd start a company. We like the fact that you have resilience when things get tough on the whole hand and took the responsibility jointly. We too love to blame each other when something go wrong instead of saying, me should have did do that better. So, Dane and Marlon and the team at SMS Group, every single day, we as Jamaicans must strive to become known regionally and internationally as focused, performing, and very smart innovators and business people. This is a critical objective. Ladies and gentlemen, to ensure our political independence, we Jamaicans, not Canadians, not Trinidadians, not the people from America or Russia or anywhere else. They're not going to do it for us. It's not their duty. We Jamaicans must carve out our own economic independence to secure that political independence. More and more, we Jamaicans are talking to, not anybody else, must grow our international recognition and excellent economic managers. They must see us as excellent economic managers. SMS is doing a great job, but that, ladies and gentlemen, seeing us as great economic managers is only the start. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know, when you prepare as an MC, you put down some words that you want to use when you come back after a speaker. And I think this is prophetic. It says to thank the minister for his spirited and informative presentation, which it was. Please help me. Your support means the world, Minister, Senator, and I know I speak on behalf of the SMS team. Thank you.